industry for some time now, going through ups and downs and facing various challenges the IRCC actually throws at us at times. So through the ups and downs, we have been able to help a lot of people to come to Canada, make their dreams come true. And we are still in the process of helping them out throughout their PR pathways as well. So, if I am to give you a brief introduction about what we do and the visa pathways we provide for our clients, uh, we do all types of visas to Canada. We also do visas to the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Finland, Sweden, USA as well. So, we are apart from the general overview of the visa services we provide, we also do refugee cases, inadmissibility hearings, detention reviews, also the extensions, PGWP applications, the usual lot. So without going much details into like who we are and what we do, I will introduce you the speaker today. I am sure every one of you all would know him, Mr. Sachira Wimalaweera. He was actually called to the bar in Sri Lanka as attorney at law in 2012, and then he moved to Canada as a student, and he was successful in getting his immigration consultancy license. And then he was called to the Alberta Bar Association this year as a barrister solicitor. So he holds expertise in the field of immigration, and Ardent Immigration Inc. has been navigating through his guidance. And today he will be talking to you guys about the PNP, all the like pathways available, and what you all should know, what you all should do, what you all should not do, everything. So, if I'm to give a brief overview of the today's webinar structure, we will be talking about the overview of the provincial nominee program, the eligibility requirements, the tips for success, and also quite a little bit about the express entry system itself, because both goes hand in hand. And then we also will have a Q&A session for you guys. We actually invited every one of you to post your questions to us earlier through a Google form. And we will be answering the questions during the Q&A session. But I have to inform you guys that we will not be answering any case-specific questions. If you have posted us if you have sent us details about your particular situation and you expect us to answer the question, we will be not answering them during the webinar series because we have to respect your privacy. Therefore, we will be scheduling a separate consultation for each and every one of you who have forwarded us questions about your particular situation. We will be holding a consultation with Mr. Wimalaweera, and we will be answering them through the consultations because we have to respect your privacy. Also, you will again have the option. We will be posting the recorded sessions on YouTube. So if you have any further questions, like I know, like sometimes you want to ask something, but then again at the time you forget it. But later on, oh my God, I didn't ask this. I should have. You go to that scenario. It's okay. We will be posting the recording on YouTube. So if you go to the video and just comment your question there, we will be there to, the team will get hold of the questions, and we'll make sure the questions are being answered even after the session. So you all don't have to worry even if you like miss to send us a Google form with your questions on it. So hope everybody is ready to go ahead with the webinar today. I will hand the platform over to Mr. Sachira Wimalaweera for him to go ahead with with all the details he has compiled for you guys. Also, I would like to again remind you guys, if you are having any technical errors or difficulties, do drop a chat message. We will be able to look into it. Okay, here it goes. Hope you guys enjoy and learn something new, and we hope it would truly help you guys to get your PR through the BCPNP. Over to you, Mr. Wimalaweera.
Okay, thank you, Kamali. I hope, can you guys hear me? Can anyone put in the chat whether you guys hear me, so then I can start saying yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect, guys. I know, so when I see the list of people who send us the forms and all, some are in Canada, some are in outside Canada. So what I'm going to do today, like Ms. Kamadi said, go through the streams that especially the BC is offering. And then we're going to talk about the overview, and also what are the tips that basically that you can use to success. As you guys know, this mainly goes on the score basis, like, for your working experience, your education, your language requirement, your ties to the province, those kind of thing. And mainly that I will be discussing about that how you can increase your score as well. Mainly there are some streams which is linked with the Express Entry. There are some stream which is not. It based on the job that you will be mainly doing. So if I talk about this, the overview if little bit, to the overview. Yeah. So when it comes to the BCPNP, what they mainly do is they mainly want to nominate the people through the PNP itself or through the Express Entry for the Canadian like a permanent residency. Like the streams like the skill immigration, entrepreneur immigration, Express Entry, those kind of things. When it comes to the BC, compared to the some other provinces, like when it comes to the Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and the Atlantic provinces, especially Ontario and BC, the provincial nominees are like nominee programs are a little bit tough. But however, there are ways that you can still secure your permanent residency. For example, if you studied there, and let's say, for example, if you are currently working there on LMIA base, those kind of things. There's one person mentioned not clear. Can I know, like, how about the others? Okay, it's clear. Okay, thank you. Okay, perfect. Okay, so then when it comes to the eligibility requirement, guys, like I said, they mainly consider the previous one, Ms. Kamali. Oh, yeah. So when it comes to working experience based on their education, language skills, and also the job offer that you are applying through, those are going to be the eligibility requirement. But these requirements vary based on the program. So when it comes to the Express Entries streams, there is a score system we call the CRS, a comprehensive ranking system, right? So from this, what Express Entry do is they select candidates for the permanent residency based on this CRS score, right? When it comes to let's say, for example, you have an Express Entry profile, and then you receive the invitation from the BCPNP. It's going to increase your score from 600 points. So when it comes to the Express Entry, the highest score that you can go is 1,200. Like, let's say, for example, someone has the Express Entry profile and they have the job seeker code and everything. Let's say that their CRS score is 300, like 350. they receive the nomination from the BCPNP, like for example, the skill category, or the, let's say, the postgraduate stream, those kind of categories. Then if you receive the invitation, then you the 600 points gonna add up to that 350. Then your the overall score gonna be 950 out of 1200. If I talk about the tips to success, let's say, for example, you're struggling that your score is not that good enough to receive the invitation when you see past all the invitations and all. Let's say, for example, you have completed just one language requirement, like the English language. You can do the French language. You might have seen the people that who coming from mainly from the Asian countries might not much familiar with the French language, but I know there are many people who are migrating to countries like France. And also we had many clients that who got it done their French qualification through the TCF or the TEF exam, right? So then either way, that's gonna be another way that you can increase your CRA score. And also the other way is like, when your working experience are increasing 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, that also gonna be another way that you can increase your CRA score. Other way is, let's say, for example, if your employer willing to give you an LMIA, which gonna add you 50 marks. However, some of might know, immigration recently, Mark Miller recently announced that they're gonna bring strict rules regarding that as well. And also when it comes to the LMIAs, we are waiting most of the the LMIAs that we have submitted from May, June, April, like that. So there's a huge processing time for the LMIAs as well, even though it does not follow the business days that mentioned in the ESDC website or the Service Canada website. So this is the main the things that I'll be talking about. So when it comes to the streams, that is the British Columbia nomination offer. So they have the skilled worker stream, and also they have the entry level and semi-skilled worker stream. They had the international graduate stream. I mentioned it there for you guys to know that stream was there, but it is not there anymore. Hopefully, they will bring it back in place again next year. And also they have the postgraduate streams, and also they have the health authority stream. So these are the 4 stream that they have. So what I'm going to do today is go through those streams and gonna give you an idea about the eligibility criteria, what kind of job offer that you need, things that you should do and things that you should not do in case. Let's say, for example, you have created a provincial nominee profile and you receive in the process, you receive the invitation, but however, it was refused, what you should do, right? So first we'll talk about the skilled worker stream. So when it comes to the skilled worker stream, this is a stream that whoever, inside Canada and also the outside Canada can apply. But only if you have a job offer. Only if you have a job offer from an employer in BC. So when it comes to the job offer, this job offer mainly that's this category prioritize the experienced workers that who meet the BC's skilled labor needs. So when it comes to the tier system, what they're trying to do is they're trying to ensure that these candidates are assessed based on their training, education, and the working experience. So when it comes to the eligibility again, so they need to have the job offer of tier 0, 1, 2, 3, or tier 0, 1, 2, 3. So when it comes to this job offer, there are 2 types of job offers that you can get. Like permanent job offer or a job offer valid for like 1 year, 2 year, like that. If you're coming through this program, your job offer, most of the time that your job offer should be a permanent one. There's other category that You don't need to have a permanent one. I'll come to that later. So, but it's a must that your job offer should be in tier 0, 1, 2, or 3. If you have a doubt, like what positions are falls under this category, what you can do is you can search on Google, type NOC. Then if you go to the like the second website, as I remember, it gives you all the like the job categories and what is the tier number. And then let's say, for example, that if you want to see what are the other example categories, if when you type NOC, for the first website that you'll be getting, you'll be directing to ESDC website. From that website, you can see what are the example categories. Like let's say, for example, if you see the cook, and then there are another example categories as well, like the prep cook, so those kind of like. So that's regarding the job offer. So, but let's say for example, like if your occupation is in the like the priority technology occupation, like for example, the NOC code 41200, like the university professors or the lecturers, you don't need to have a permanent job offer, right? And the other thing is, just getting a job offer is not enough. Eventually, in the process, right? What you should do is that employer should agree with you to sign a declaration form. We call the employer declaration form. Because down the road at one point, if immigration contact the employer and require some documents, he should agree to provide those documents. Reason why I'm telling you this is from my own experience. If an employer doesn't know that if immigration or the province requests the documents that he should give, then if he declined to give those documents, then you're gonna be on trouble. You're gonna be in trouble. So make sure that your employer knows down the road that he has to sign this employer declaration form. And also, if the immigration requests that they have to provide those documents, right? Like that. And then when it comes to the working experience, in BC, you need to have minimum 2-year full-time working experience to eligible to this skill migration stream. So like let's say, for example, there's another question that I saw one of a client asked about the co-op. There are some categories they do not consider the working experience that you gaining through the co-op period. But in this category, if your working experience falls under this tier 0, 1, 2, 3, if that co-op is paid, and also if it is full-time, what do you mean by full-time is the minimum 30 hours per week. If it is, that co-op requirement, the co-op period also can be counted to these 2 years. And also the other thing is, like let's say, for example, sometimes someone can like, the other thing is, let's say, for example, that you getting a working experience from a company that you are partially owned. You cannot. Let's say, for example, if you own a company, let's say like Amal and Nimal. Amal has Amal got like about 15 15% partnership, and Nimal got 85% partnership. Amal cannot apply. It should be lower than 10% ownership need to have. I mean, like that's gonna happen if you are a partner of a company, but if you just an employee, it's basically not gonna affect you. And the other thing is the language requirement. Basically, when it comes to the language requirement, the minimum language requirement is CLB4. But here's the thing, guys. This language requirement they have mentioned basically in order for you to eligible for the program. it doesn't say that when you have the CLB4, you're gonna get the invitation. For example, like if you got the CLB4, the marks you'll be getting is 5 marks. So if you have the CLB5, gonna be 10 marks, CLB6 gonna be 15 marks, CLB7 gonna be 20 marks, CLB8 gonna be 25 marks. If you get the 9 plus, which is great, gonna be uh like 30 marks. That means 30 points. So basically you can see if it is CLB4, you're gonna get just 5 marks. But if you get the 9 plus, 30 marks, 25, it's gonna boost your score and gonna give you a higher possibility that you're gonna receive the nomination from the BCPNP or from the Express Entry. And the other thing is the wage. When it comes to the wage, it should align with the occupation that you have. Let's say, for example, that you are an admin assistant and you're gonna receive just $17, $18. It's not gonna work. It should align with the wage that need to be paid with the job position, like that. So, and the other thing is, you should be able to show that that you will be able to support basically by yourself. That means you should show the income as well. So let's say, for example, you create the profile. That means you did the registration. That means you giving the expression of interest. You express the promise that you are interested about this program. And then let's say, for example, you receive the invitation. You have 30 days to submit the application. So once they submit the application, they're going to process the application. You can see from your online portal where they are at on your profile. And then eventually you're going to achieve your dream, which is becoming a permanent resident. So meantime, they can require documents from you and give you a timeline to provide those documents. They can request those documents from your employer to provide the documents. They can give the employer the timeline. That's why I mentioned that the employer should agree to sign that declaration form in that way. He agreeing to give the documents that the immigration is requesting. Right. So, so when it comes to the for example, if you under this immigration stream, so if you are nominated in a priority technology occupation, right? And let's say, for example, you have a project-based work permit. If your project-based work permit is expiring, right? What you should do is you should obtain a new job offer from an eligible BC employer in a priority technology occupation. You can get the list of occupation. There are many occupation in that list from their website. I'm not gonna go through that list. And also, and at the same time that you should inform the BC, the PNP, that the changes that you have done to your basically to the basically to your employment status. So and the other thing is let's say, for example, like I earlier mentioned, there are one category that you don't need a permanent job offer. That is, for example, if you have a job offer university, like a lecturer, professor, like that. For example, the NOC code is 41200. That job offer should valid throughout the process till the time you register for the expression of interest, and till the time that basically you get your final decision. So it need to be valid throughout the process, right? And also any experience that you obtain through the research or the coursework as part of your doctoral level degree, that also can be used to demonstrate that you meet 2-year skill experience requirement. Because like I said, the 2 years of working experience needed as a minimum to elect to this category. And the other thing is, let's say, for example, this research or the coursework experience is it's like not paid, that's totally fine. So that's totally fine. If it is not paid, you can still use it towards this 2 year like 2 year experience. And the other thing is, one of another question most of our clients ask is you might aware, like if you work in Canada, you guys get paid leave. The paid leave, mostly you're getting only 2 years, depending on how many years you've been with the company. This 2 years also can be counted this working experience. But however, let's say for example, someone gone for the maternity leave, that cannot be added. So maternity leave almost like an year or 9 months, it depending on they are arranged. So this is basically regarding the skilled worker category. So if I go to the next slide, yeah. So if I go to the next stream is the entry level and semi skill level category. The one of an advantage of this stream is, let's say for example, you have a tier job, like lower category, which is 405. Like if I explain you for the people who don't know, in Canada, based on the labor shortage, based on the importance, they have categorized these uh, job categories from to a tier system. Earlier we had an NOC system. Now we have the tier system. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when it comes 0, it comes the managerial. So when it comes to skill category, means 0, 1, 2, 3. When it comes to the tier 4 and 5, falls under the like we call the semi-skill, unskilled, like that. So when it comes to this semi-skill entry level and the semi-skill category, you should have a job offer in the field of tourism or the hospitality or the food processing employer in BC. Since this category, under this category, since that you need a job offer under tier 4 or 5, there's no express entry stream, because if you're gonna create an express entry, you need a skill job, which is the skill job, like is tier 0, 1, 2, 3. So this stream does not have an express entry stream. So you don't get that 600 points. So only way that you have to go is through the BCPNP. And then once you receive the nomination, then you have to go under the economic class. You can still do the online application. You can still do the paper application, which I believe from last October, they push, I mean, especially after the COVID, they push the people to go on like online platform after COVID. So if I come again, what are the requirements for this stream? You should be currently working in BC, and also you should have eligibility occupation tier 405. And the other thing is, in this stream, they consider about the area that you're working. Let's say, for example, in this category, you should work in Northeast Development Region in BC if you're working in tier 4 or 5. But other than the caregiver category, let's say, for example, if you're working in the live, live in caregiver, like the NOC 44100 or the 44101, then you're not going to be eligible. But other than that, if you are in tier 4 or 5 category, you're going to be eligible. Other thing is, earlier category, they want us to work 2 years. But in here, you only need full-time 9 consecutive months with an BC employer. And also, you should have the qualification to perform this job. Let's say, for example, any job category, if they require any registration in BC, a regulatory body or something, that you need to have that requirement. Again, the minimum language requirement is CLB4. Like I said, you need to get higher CLB level. In that way, you can keep high hopes about that. And when it comes to the education requirement, the minimum education requirement is high school. When it comes to education requirement, I need to talk a little bit about this education requirement. This goes to other streams as well. They're going to consider your highest education qualification. Let's say, for example, you have done a bachelor's and a master's. They're going to consider your master's, and they'll be giving marks basically for their master's. And the other thing is, any program that you have studied should be, the study period should be 6 years or more. But if it is lower, 6 months, it should be 6 months or higher. If it is lower than 6 months, then you're not gonna get that marks. And let's say, for example, the programs like the ESL programs and also the distance education learning programs not gonna count. If you're counting the Canadian education, that education should be higher than you should be physically studied in the university or the college more than 50%, not the distance learning. Like, let's say, for example, you have 4 semesters and you studied only the last semester online, that's totally fine. So, and if I give you an idea about like the marks that you'll be getting, since I talk about this education for you to get an idea. If it is an like post-secondary diploma, you'll be getting 5 marks. If it is an associate degree, you'll be getting still 5 marks. Bachelor degree, 15 marks. Postgraduate certificate or diploma, you'll be getting 15 marks. Master degree, 22 marks. Doctoral degree, 27 marks. So like that. So I mean, this master's doctoral will be mostly going towards the postgraduate streams. But when it comes to the bachelor's, those kind of things go to the graduate stream, which is not available right now. So like that. So I give you an idea. I wanted to give you these points for you to get an idea, how crucial to get higher. I mean, the highest education for you to get higher marks. And the other thing is so coming back to the eligibility criteria. So this job offer should align with the like the wage rate, and also you should be able to show that you can perform that job. And same like the other streams, basically that you should be able to need to have money show in your bank account to show the province and to the immigration, yes, that you have enough money to survive by yourself and also to support your dependents as well. Right. So, and the other thing is this job occupation, right? You must maintain this full-time employment under this stream throughout the BCPNP application process, right? Like that. There are, based on current situation, there are things happen like this. Let's say, for example, once you're going to receive, like you receive the invitation, but you're not authorized to work in BC. Like how, so the next question is, how are you going to become not authorized to work? Like, let's say, for example, you left the country or you on visitor visa. Let's say someone came to Canada as a student, you apply your PGWP, your 3 years is gone and you have no way to extend it. So you hope that you will receive the invitation and then you convert your PGWP to a visitor visa. So you have basically 6 months. You can basically extend that 6 months again, but you need to have a valid reason to extend that. So let's say, for example, you are no longer authorized to work at the time you receive the invitation. But you can still submit the application. How? In these streams, let's say, for example, this 9 months full-time, you gain that working experience on valid work permit in BC when you are registering for the program. Like, let's say, for example, now today is December 15th, 2024. So you receive, let's say, for example, you receive the invitation, like let's say December 10th. But you create your profile, let's say July 15th, 2024. At that time, you had 9 months working experience. And when you're creating that 9 months has been completed, that's totally fine. Even though you want visit visa, you can still submit your application. And also, I'll tell a little bit about that. So let's say, for example, you submit your application and then you receive the nomination. And then you apply to the like so once you receive the nomination, you apply to the federal government under these streams, because this is not an express entry stream. And then you receive the AOR. We call it acknowledgement of receipt. Then if you're on visit visa, you can convert it into a bridging work permit. You're going to get an open work permit. You can work anywhere you want, right? So it's kind of a tricky part. And the other thing is, so like I said, so you having the 9 months full-time working experience, but you are a visitor, but you are a visitor. But you did, when you do the current registration, that means when you apply for the EOI, expression of interest, you are 9 months completed based on the current registration. Then you can still submit. Let's say that your job offer basically in this stream, like remain valid throughout the current registration and the application process, even though you on visit visa, even though you left the country, you can still apply. So this is basically regarding this entry level and semi-skilled stream. So the best thing is, even though you want tier 4 or 5, you can still apply, all right? And the disadvantage, you don't have the express entry option in this stream. So that is basically regarding the entry level stream. So if you go to the postgraduate stream, international postgraduate stream, I know many of you guys who are in Canada may be in this category. We received many questions regarding that. So I basically pile my presentation based on the questions that I have received. So if I tell a little bit about the international graduate stream, you might be aware. So it being closed as of, as of the November 25th, 2024. But let's say, for example, if you apply to the international graduate stream, but you did not receive the invitation, that they would have already removed you from the pool. So coming back to again, international postgraduate stream. So when it comes to postgraduate stream, there's an express entry door. You can get 600 points and increase your CRS score, which is going to give you a higher possibility achieve your dream, which is becoming a permanent resident. So in this stream, you don't need a registration. You can apply directly. One of the best thing, guys, this program is, as soon as your degree done, you can apply for this program if you have completed a master's or a PhD. However, any masters that you have completed, that's not gonna fall under this category. That is the tricky part. Like let's say, for example, you have completed your master's degree in natural science, applied science, health sciences, those kind of stream. Since most of you guys in the stream, I'll give you the list of the list that which the masters that falls under this category: the agriculture operations and the related sciences, and the biological and the biomedical sciences, and the computer and the information sciences and support services, engineering, engineering technology and the engineering related fields, health professionals and the related programs, mathematics and statistics, natural resources conservation, physical sciences, So these are the programs. So let's say, for example, unfortunately, you have completed the MBA, might not be. So, and the other thing is when it comes to the doctoral program, right? Let's say, for example, you are a PhD student at a public BC post-secondary institution, right? Then you gonna that you can apply through this program. So you should prove that you have admitted to this school. You need to provide the copy of your official transcript showing the date that you admitted and also your official transcript as well at the end of your program. When it comes to this doctoral program, there are some specific positions does not falls under this category. Like let's say, for example, the regulatory or the professional doctors, like the juris doctors who want to become a lawyer, they're going to do juris doctors. And then the doctor of medicine, MD. So those kind of positions do not falls under this category. So like I said, the best thing is you don't need a job offer, right? That's why as soon as your program's done, you can apply to that. You can apply to this program. That's why you don't need a registration. But the tricky part is this program. You need to apply. I mean, you should graduated in past 3 years. Let's say, for example, you should, if you graduated 2024, 2023, 2022, still you're okay. So if you graduated in last 3 years, then basically you can basically apply to that program. So this is mainly regarding the postgraduate streams. So we'll talk about the health authority stream. So when it comes to this health authority stream, this stream also you don't need a registration, right? You can submit your application. That means the registration basically directly. So when it comes to the registration, like I mentioned, if I talk about a little bit, it's a point-based expression interest, right? That means you basically giving expression of interest. So there are two programs. Like I said, the postgraduate stream and this health authority stream, you don't need a registration. And the other thing is you can have just one active BCPNP registration at a time. Once you submit your registration, you're going to get a registration number. It basically valid for 12 months. After 12 months, your registration gonna remove from the pool, and then you can again do the registration. So let's say, for example, within these 12 months, you receive the invitation. You have 30 days to submit the application. And also, let's say, like you need to change the stream. You cannot just simply edit or do something. What you have to do is you have to withdraw your current registration, and then you have to basically resubmit. So if I talk about the this eligibility criteria for this program, you need to have an indeterminate job offer. That means a permanent job offer from a BC Public Health Authority, right? Basically, for example, like let's say as a nursing practitioner or the midwife in BC, like that. And also you need to have the education, training, and experience and the qualification that required to perform this job. Language requirement minimum is CLB4, and your job offer should be 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. When it comes to the health authorities who can give you the job offer, they have given a list of health authorities. For example, the Fraser Health, Interior Health, Island Health, like this. So they have mentioned this specific health authorities who can give you the job offer. The reason why this institute might have a good relationship with the province, they've been keeping their track record well. So that may be the reason that they have selected these institutes can only give the mainly the job offer. So like that. So that is mainly regarding the health authority stream. Yeah. Meantime, before I come up with the express entry, I'll talk a little bit about the other very key points during the in the BCPNP. So when you choosing the stream, you should be really careful because the thing is, if you choose a wrong stream, you might put the wrong information. Let's say, for example, you create a profile with the wrong information. You receive the invitation, and then you submit the documents as well. But the documents and the information that you use to do the registration, if it is contradict, your PR can be rejected. So if your PR can be rejected, you can request them to review again, or otherwise you have to go to the immigration division, because you cannot just simply do a reapplication, or otherwise you have to go from the beginning, or otherwise what you have to do is you can go to the immigration division like as an appeal. So it's very important when you're choosing this stream which you are eligible. So like I said, in order to eligible for the express entry BC option, you need to have an active express entry profile. So if you receive the ITA, that means invitation to apply using this express entry BC option, you're going to receive 600 points for your for like basically for your federal profile. And then, like I said, the federal profile, the maximum score that you can go is 1200. So when you're registering for the BCPNP, you're gonna sign in. You can create a profile. Then you can select the stream, right? And at the time of the registration, you should meet the program criteria, right? Otherwise, it can negatively affect like that. And also, if you decided to use this express entry stream, express entry BC stream, you should select the stream, the proper one from the beginning, like I said. The reason why, guys, I am like keep saying this stream. We have seen the negative decisions based on this, choosing the wrong stream. So when you basically when you apply for this BCPNP, the maximum score that you're getting is 200. This 200 divide 120 for the human capital factor and 80 for the economic factor. So the human capital factor mean for your working experience, your education, your language, your qualification, those kind of thing. When it comes to the economic factor, like the hourly wage of the job offer, the area that you are reporting, I mean, where you are employer and also you are reporting. Like, let's say, for example, you have your employer in Vancouver and then you're reporting to Cranston or the Grand Forks or the Dawson Creek, then your score is based on that location where you are physically reporting, like that. So when it comes to these marks, like I said, the human capital factor, you're gonna get 120 maximum. So working experience, you will be getting 40. Language, you will be getting maximum 40. And then education maximum, you will be getting 40. And when it comes to the economic factor, based on the hourly wage, you'll be getting 55. And also where you are residing in BC, that you'll be getting maximum, basically maximum 25. Like, let's say, for example, if you're in like the metro Vancouver region district, you're not gonna get any points. But let's say, for example, like Chilliwack, Mission, those kind of provinces, you're gonna get 0.5. So like that. Because what they want to do is to spread people out of the urban areas. So that's why urban areas you'll be getting less 0.00, but when you go to the out of the main cities, you'll be getting marks like that. So when it comes to the working experience, you'll be getting marks, like I said, uh, like for the working experience, that you'll be getting 40. So job offer 55 again. But BC like the work location 25. So like I said, the maximum score is 200. The other thing is, let's say, for example, you receive the nomination, right? You can request through your online portal for a work permit support letter. And then once you receive that work permit support letter, through the employer portal, by paying the employer compliance fees, which is $230, you can apply for the work permit. Meantime, you can apply, you can work. Meantime, applying your PR under economic stream, or when you can apply the PR under express entry stream. So when it comes to the, like I said, the skill category, like there are childcare stream, construction stream, healthcare stream, technology, and the veterinary care stream, like that. So if I talk about again a little bit about this express entry BC option, because that's most of our clients the favorite one, because it's fast, very straightforward. In order to apply for this express entry BC stream, you need to have the minimum criteria for the BC PNP skill immigration category, and also for the federal economic immigration category as well. That means the express entry and the BCPNP. You need to have the minimum criteria fulfilled to apply to the express entry BC option. And the one thing is you need to have a job offer on the NOC category 0, 1, 2, 3. But if your job is under like tier 4 or 5, your application will be refused. So when it comes to the express entry stream, it's only available for the skilled worker stream, the international postgraduate stream, and also the health authority. It also available for the international graduate stream, but it is not available right now. Right. So other thing is, like if you have registered or applied for the BCPNP without selecting this express entry BC option, right? Then your registration or the application cannot be later converted to it cannot be converted to the express entry BC option. So what you have to do is you have to withdraw the application and then apply again. So if you want to select a different stream, let's say for example you late eligible based on the job offer, based on you got a new job, and you got you accumulated new working experience in a different stream which falls under a different BC like the BC PNP stream. Then what you can do is you can withdraw the application and then you can resubmit, because you can have only one BCPNP stream registered at one time, like that. And the other thing is when you're gonna apply to this BCPNP or the express entry, you should not be out of status. If first thing, the second thing is if you are on out of status, you should be able to prove that you have applied for the reservation status. And also you should not be working in Canada without an authorization. And also you should not have unresolved refugee claim in Canada. You should not be under the removal order. So these things should not be under your profile when you receive the invitation, when you're in the registration, those kind of things. So when it comes to the language requirement, you need to have you can do IELTS, you can do CELPIP, TEF, TCF. TEF, TCF is the French language requirement. So IELTS, CELPIP are the English requirement. If I talk a little bit about the employers, because you should be really careful about who you're giving the job offer. Let's say, for example, if you if you gonna apply to the BCPNP through the semi-skill, entry-level semi-skill, that employers should operate their business in BC at least 2 years. But for the other streams, at least they should be operating in BC for 1 year. And if that employer is in like the Metro Vancouver Regional District, that employer should have at least 5 full-time employees performing in BC. If the employer is outside Metro, like Vancouver Regional District, then at least they have 3 permanent full-time employees. Like, and but the best part of this is, let's say like some employers, even though they're giving full-time hours, they do not want to mention them as the full-time employees. They keep them as the part-time employees. So these 2 part-time employees, if they are getting like collective hours over 30 hours, then it can consider as 1 full-time employee, like that. And then lastly, if I talk about the, let's say, for example, is everything went well, but unfortunately, for example, if your BCPNP was refused, what you should do? If your BCPNP is refused, if you're thinking the immigration officer who assess your application, that they did not follow the proper procedure, the law and facts, they have not considered that. What you can do is, but you cannot submit the new evidence within 30 days of the decision that you have received. You can request to review the decision. You can request to review the decision if you are in BC within 30 days. But let's say, for example, if you are outside Canada, you have basically 60 days. So you can submit this request through your online portal. So you should identify the grounds that you are requesting. You're gonna see that you're gonna think that immigration officer has not properly considered your working experience, your ties to the province, like that. And also you should include the payments, which is non-refundable. And the other thing is, you should also convince an immigration officer the job offer and also the wage that mentioned in the job offer is not mentioned to get higher marks. Like, let's say, for example, usually that you'll be getting like about $20 per hour. But your employer, in order to get you more marks, mentioned like $34, $30. If immigration officer like feel that they mention this higher amount to this in your job offer in order to get more points, they can reject your application. Right? And the other thing is when it comes to the income, they only consider the hourly rate. Like, let's say, for example, you're gonna receive the bonus, commission, the profit sharing, a distribution. Like when it comes to profit sharing, like let's say, for example, you own like a business with one of your friend, and you got more than 10% of shares, and you receive the profit sharing. It cannot show as your income. Tips, gratitudes, overtime, those kind of things you cannot. But when it comes to the like hourly rate, I mean, you're getting marks based on your hourly rate. Let's say your hourly rate is 25, your overtime is, let's say, 34. You're not gonna get marks for 34. You're gonna get the marks for 25, right? So this is like that. So mainly these are the things that you need to be really careful when you apply for the BCPNP. As well as myself, like Ms. Kamadi mentioned, I also came as a student to Canada. So my dream was becoming a PR, getting PR as soon as possible. I know most of, I mean, all of you guys, the dream also same, getting the PR as soon as possible. If you are living inside Canada or the outside Canada still, if you're in the process, your ultimate game is getting the PR. So if I talk about a little bit about the express entry, if you are in the skill immigration stream or uh, the postgraduate stream like that, and the health category, you can apply through the express entry. Like when a client contact me, the first thing I say is start with the express entry. It's very straightforward, very easy pathway. But you need to do but basically you should get the higher IELTS. I always recommend pushing the clients to get the higher IELTS. My favorite marks is the listening 8 or 8.5, other band 7 or 7.5. I always push, basically push them to that. So as you all know, what you're gonna do is you can like when you're creating an express entry profile, you're gonna put here all the information, your education, your working experience, your language requirement. If you have a job offer, LMIA based job offer, and if you have the professional qualification, if you have the siblings, the step brother sisters, the siblings or the siblings from your side or from your spouse side, like that. So what you can do is you're gonna create a profile first, and then then you're gonna get a score, and then based on your score, what's gonna happen is you're gonna receive the invitation. So as you all know, right now, the Canadian experience class, federal skilled worker, the cutoff is a little bit high, but we have hopes by next year they will be bringing it down, especially for the Canadian experience class, because they have a target of permanent residents that they need to provide the PR. The immigrant who need to provide the PR, I know that numbers was down, but however, they want to give PR, especially for the people who are inside Canada, before they're flushing the system. So coming back to the express entry again, and then once you receive the invitation, in these streams, basically you have 60 days to submit the documents. You need to first accept the invitation, and then they're gonna ask, whether there are any changes happen, whether any changes happen, like whether you're married, like whether your marital status change, your age, those kind of things. You need to mention that again, and then they're gonna give, based on that, they're gonna give you a document checklist, and then you can submit those documents. So during the process, they might ask require documents from you or from your employer. You should provide those documents within that period. If you badly cannot, only that you provide those documents, then only you can you can ask for explanation. Personally, which I do not recommend, try to give those documents within that time period, because if you're unable to provide those documents within that time period, what's going to happen is the immigration officer kind of skeptical about why this candidate cannot provide those documents, like that. If you give in an explanation, make sure you give a strong explanation. So in this kind of situation, I always recommend reach out to an immigration consultant or immigration lawyer, so they can definitely help you out. And then once you submit the documents, then they're going to process. First, you're gonna receive the confirmation of permanent residence once you accept it, and then you're gonna receive the permanent resident card. So this is pretty much about the entire the express entry and the BCPNP streams. Like Ms. Kamadi said, what we wanted is to start with from BC this webinar series. And then next we'll be doing the Ontario, and then the Alberta, which where we are living, and then the Saskatchewan, and then Manitoba, and the Atlantic provinces. If I go through some questions that we have received regarding the stream, I believe I might have answer most of the questions that was provided through the Google form. Most of the clients, the question is that they had, that they are in BC, but they have not received the invitation. They're trying their best to increase their language requirement and all, but your PGWP is expiring. I know you guys might be panicked. You maybe maybe most of them listening to this webinar as well. What you guys can do is you can there are still streams that you can that you can go to. In Alberta, you have the Alberta Rural Renewal Stream, which an eligible employer, if you have a job offer, you can apply. You also have the Atlantic Immigration Program. There are some provinces, like for example, the New Brunswick, which we are doing the most the caregivers. I mean, their quota, like their limit for 2024 year was reached, and then they will be they will be resuming again next year. But still, the AIP gonna be another good option. And let's say, for example, if an employer willing to give you like the LMIA job offer, right? That also gonna be another way. Like let's say, for example, that you got a LMIA based job offer in Manitoba, you can go there. Very easy to. I mean, compared to BC, what I'm telling, don't get me wrong of saying very easy to get the PR. Compared to BC, those kind of provinces, bit easy. Even myself, I got my PR from Manitoba, like that. So these are the options that are available. But the immigration is mostly they're trying to give permanent residence for the people who are inside Canada, right? Rather than basically they're taking from outside directly on PR, unless otherwise you have strong ties. What do you mean by strong ties? You have your own siblings in those provinces. You have the LMIA-based job offers from those provinces. So unless otherwise, I mean, from outside Canada, but they wanna give priority for those like the candidate outside Canada. So this one mentioned that you have completed your MBA this September, but you're struggling to find a job, like a job in the field. Need to know how can affect for my PR. The best thing is you can the MBA does not gonna fall under the postgraduate one. What you can do is the best option you have is the Express Entry. Create an Express Entry profile. And since you mentioned about this MBA, like you cannot find a good job in your field, I'll give you the like kind of a tactics that myself when I'm a student and few of my friends also did. While we working on the odd jobs, we volunteered in some places. Like, if you're a lawyer, you can volunteer in a law firm. If you're coming from a IT field, you can volunteer in like the IT firm. There are like the many NGOs kind of institute who's supporting for immigrants. They don't have a budget to pay for their employees. That you can volunteer. I have seen what my experience is. Most of the employers they're giving priority. Like they're giving priority for like the people who volunteer, because what they see is these people is not going after money. They so that is an image when you go to an interview, they're gonna see. So what you can do is do some volunteer work, like like 2 hours per week, 3 hours per week, like that, twice a week, like that. Like when you have a leisure time, that gonna be one way that you can get a better job. I know, like when I'm a student back in 2014, 2015, many of my friends got the job in that way. So when it comes to the age limit depends on the streams, but when it comes to the higher age, the lower possibility you're gonna receive the invitation. So if someone obtained from outside Canada, if they're higher age, what I would recommend is the work permit gonna be the most feasible option for them. our legal costs and everything I'm not going to talk about here. The main purpose of this is, since we know, including our students that who came through us, many of the students that students work permits, they're gonna struggling to get in their PR. So the main purpose is giving you guys an idea about the current situation. So I mentioned about this accounting, public accounting. This is gonna feel like the same MBA, like the MBA category. So I mentioned like when you're gonna get a job offer from the employer, what are the things that you need to be like cautious about, like from the employer. Um, this mentioned that you're a carpenter in constructions and a renovation company, and the company willing to sponsor through the BCPNP, right? So and also you had experience. Basically, that you have the experience in building houses in Sri Lanka on contract basis. How you can prove your overseas working experience. If you're a contract basis, it's kind of challenging to prove. But if you're an employee, then you can provide your letter of employment. Because when you are a contract basis, you go as an independent contractor. Whatever happens is going to be basically your responsibility, not your employer. There are going to be no one to oversee your working experience, your works and all. That's why it's kind of tricky about the contract basis. But if you're an employee, then it's possible. Mm. Oh, yeah. So when it comes to the IT professionals, that you have the technology stream, the tech pathway to follow. And also you mentioned about the home support worker pilot program, even though this is not regarding the BCPNP. They have not mentioned yet. Usually they start on every like the 1st of January, but they have not informed yet about the program. Um, if you have a job offer without LMIA, yes, you can. Let's say, for example, the students that who are on PGWP, they don't have a LMIA. Yes, you can. Uh, so you're a bookkeeper, and also, but you have not studied in Canada, that's fine. If you have the working experience inside Canada, you can. Uh, about the forecast for next year, the stream, it highly like it's hard to predict about the cutoff mark. I mean, that is the catch of every provinces in PNPs and the express entry. They do not want us to predict because the thing is, this cutoff mark is depends on their need. When it comes to BC, if they are introducing new stream, if they are removing streams, and if they are deciding the cutoff, it depends on their need, like that. Uh, so most of the questions they have asked about um, the um, the explanation I did, and also there's a question about what about the PTE. PTE Co is accepted. They are recently announced that. But personally, I would recommend of doing the IELTS or CLP. The recently I have seen in one GCMS notes about this PTE. But like if you guys comfortable about the PTE Co, just do it because it mentioned in the website as well. Can the dependent apply for express entry while studying the study? Very good question. Yes, you can. Let's say, for example, if your spouse get the 1 year skill working experience in Canada and you came to Canada for a, let's say for example, 2 year MBA, yes, your spouse can apply for the express entry. Then he will be eligible for the federal skill worker and also the Canadian experience class as well. Scams taking place. Yes, very good question. Based on like in immigration system, there are many scams, especially I have seen on social media, especially regarding the work permits. They're getting high like higher amounts. Even though you pay higher amounts or not, you should be really careful about who you're paying to, because you will be paying your hard-earned money to thieves. So don't do that. It's your money. You should be careful of who you're paying to when they give you a job offer. Make sure that you search about those job offers. So we are receiving many of those emails as lawyers and consultants from those platforms. Sometimes like they have given a job offer, but there's no like like they get their work permit, they come to Canada, but there's no like physical workplace like that. So then basically you're gonna be in trouble. So you should be really careful about that. And yeah, and also on the other hand, like I mentioned, when you have a job offer, you should be really careful about how many years that the business been up and running, and whether employer is willing to provide those documents. There are many employers, if you see the website, especially the Service Canada website, there are ineligible employers. How an employer become an ineligible employer? That when the ESDC or the Service Canada request the details, they are not willing to provide the documents. If someone is unwilling to, like, sorry, not willing to provide the documents, that means there's a that means there's an issue like that. Uh, so. After getting the PGWP, apply for the spousal open work permit. It's not necessary. We have seen the approval, even though the main applicant having an unskilled job, but it's recommended to have a skilled job, which is TS 0123. When it comes to the maximum age limit to get the Canadian PR, right now I would recommend, I don't recommend over 40, like around 35, below 35, 30, 35 would be good. Mm. Chances of quality assurance fields in Canada, yes, you can find jobs in Canada on like the quality assurance jobs, yes. But the thing is that you have to, like, the Indeed.com job ban, there are like, there are the posting websites who provide those job postings that you can apply, or otherwise you can reach out to recruitment companies in Canada that you can reach out to that. Uh, One client mentioned my husband, the undergraduate UCW MBA. What is the option to get the PR? But the BCPNP not be eligible. But the best stream I would say apply to the express entry, express entry stream. Mm. For the PR program for caregivers, there are some ask, is there any PR program for caregivers? Yes. For example, the AIP program. It's a direct PR program. But so what you do is first you can apply for the work permit, and then while the work permit is processing within 3 months, you should apply for the PR like that. Mm. Uh, Does it reduce marks for Canadian education if we change the province? Not to the education, right? But most of the time, the province is giving priority for student who studied in that in the province. I work as an engineer in Sri Lanka. Currently employed as a technician in BC. Can my work experience in Sri Lanka counted? Yes, yes, you can count it, those experience, because when it comes to the skill category, you can create an express entry profile, which that your Sri Lankan working experience can be counted towards. Is there any license to get work as a teacher or the teacher assistant in Canada? Teaching assistant, no. But for a teacher, according to my knowledge, you need to have a license. There are there are regulatory jobs, doctors, lawyers, accountants should be CPA qualified. So like that, there are regulatory jobs that you have to get the license. Um, if you have a job offer from BC, apply for the BCPNP. Yes, you can. Will there be an advantage if my French CLB is 5 or above? Do I fall into French category? However, my first language in English. Yes. When it comes to the French category, you need to have the CLB 5 or higher. Yes. But when it comes to the French category, uh, the cutoff mark is lower. It is I would say that's going to be one of the easiest way to migrate if you have if you have completed the French language, because what the main aim objective of the immigration is to spread the French speaking individual outside of Quebec. So that is the main aim of the program. And also there are the mobility francophone program. So if you are like the CLB is 5 or higher, you can apply. But if you can apply for the express entry, in order to eligible for the French stream, you need to get higher French score, be around like CLB 7. So it says that my husband is a chef at Star Class Hotel in Sri Lanka. Can apply for the BCPNP. That he will be apply under skill category and also the express entry, the express entry federal skill worker as well. So it is difficult to find the tier 0, 1, 2, 3 work permits for IT professionals. Basically, when it comes to IT, yes, I agree with you. IT is one of a very tough field to find job, but keep trying. You can because like I said, I have many friends that even our clients too. They did these volunteer jobs, and then in that way they could find the jobs, and then once you get into the job and when employer like your work, most of the employers are willing to support you for the PR like that. Yes, you can apply for express entry and the BCPNP, like basically while you're studying, but that's not for you, like basically for your spouse. While you're studying, you can apply for the express entry. Yes, you can. Mhm. Can we apply for the work visa and the BCPNB same time? I do not recommend. The reason why when you apply for the work permit, you're gonna say that at the end of your 2 year or a 1 year, you're gonna come back to your home country. When you apply for the BCPNP, you give your intention to settle down in, like basically to settle down in Canada. So these intentions gonna contradict. So which I do not recommend that. So it can negatively affect. But there's a term called dual intent. That means you can mention these two intents, but when it comes to success rate, it's not that high. Uh, it says that if you submit an application for skilled worker stream and can update your profile, they receive the invitation. Like let's say for example, language test. What you have to do is you can withdraw it, resubmit it, because they do not usually allow to do that, because once you submit the information, it lock. But for the express entry, basically for the express entry, you can. Like when it comes to the express entry, you can, because you can always like update the profile. Okay, I believe these are the questions that we have received. The other the questions we have already answered. Any other questions, ma'am? There's another one. I recently graduated from UCW MBA. My one and only sister is a Canadian citizen and she's living in Lethbridge. Is there any family sponsoring PNP category in Alberta? We'll be doing another seminar, another webinar for Alberta. They had a stream in Alberta. You create an express entry profile if you have your close siblings in Alberta, you can. But it is not longer happening. But let's say, for example, if your sister could find you to find a LMIA based job offer in Alberta, then you can migrate to Alberta, or let's say job offer from a rural, like a rural town. You can apply for the rural renewal stream for the PR. So if you're working on a LMIA based job offer in Alberta, based on your working experience, you can apply for the Alberta Provincial Nominee Program.
Okay. I believe it was a good session and everybody enjoyed, learned something new, and maybe some tactics to improve your score and get you PR in Canada. So that comes to the end of the session today. And our contact details are on the screen if you want to note them down. Also, our team will anyway reach out to you guys if you have if you have questions, and there are few unanswered questions as well because of the privacy reasons, and maybe because it's the question is not directly about the BCPNP. We will be doing several webinars like this in the future as well. So we plan to do webinars for each province actually, and for any other PR pathways that are available, like the caregiver program, and maybe for healthcare occupations. So do stay tuned with us through our WhatsApp channel as well as on our YouTube channel. Like we said earlier, we will be posting today's recording on the YouTube channel. And if you still have questions, you can also comment on the YouTube video. So we will be getting back to you that way as well. Also, I just wanted to make sure again that every one of you noted, if your question was not answered today And if you received a message on the chat that you need to send us an email, you need to actually send your updated CV to us. Then we will be scheduling a consultation for you, a personal consultation, so we can discuss in length about your personal profile and give the most suitable option depending on your personal details and profile. If you, as most of you guys are in Canada, you all can contact us through 587 717 1991. Our website is www.ardentcanadavisa.com. Our email address is contact@ardentcanadavisa.com. We are based in Alberta. We also have our liaison office in Sri Lanka. If anybody is in Sri Lanka, it's right opposite the Holy Family Convent in Bambalapitiya. You all also can visit. You all can call. If I am to give you the contact details of the Sri Lankan office, I believe one of my team members can put the number on the chat so that whoever who wants the number can make note of it. Thank you. On an ending note, I would like to note that we are a professional body. We are regulated Canadian immigration consultants. Like the question that was answered in between the Q&A session, there are a lot of scams going on. I'm sure everybody is aware of that. And we just need to make sure we try our best to make sure that none of the Sri Lankan community, especially, and for that matter, anyone who's trying to migrate and make their dreams come true, don't fall into scams and fall prey of scammers. So make sure that when you are pursuing your immigration pathways and options, maybe you or your family member, your friend, make sure that you don't fall prey. You can always check for a licensed immigration consultant uh, and go for the professional services. If I am to talk to you about a little bit about us, our team comprises of professionals, and especially most of your documentation part will be handled by lawyers. Our legal team comprises of lawyers, all law graduates. So we kind of have expertise in legal documentation, and we know what we are doing, and we can help you out if you have any problems pertaining to your documentation as well. We try to provide the most comprehensive service, all in one stop, so that you don't have a kind of troubled immigration process, but try to make it smoother for you guys to get everything done in one place. That is what we do and how we do it. And then finally, thank you for joining today. Thank you for your time and dedication. We had a lot of good questions. I believe the questions were mode of getting more information as well. So thank you again for joining tonight, and we wish you all the best. If you have any questions or concerns about your immigration pathway, do not hesitate to contact us. We can be reached at these numbers and these modes anytime. Hopefully we will see you on another webinar, maybe like this, or else through a consultation with you guys. So again, thank you so much and have a great night.